Okay, so for years, whenever you heard the name HubSpot, you probably thought CRM, right? Or maybe marketing automation tool. But in this age of AI, what exactly is it now? Today, we're going to unpack the HubSpot customer platform to really understand what it's become and why it's generating so much buzz. And really, there's no better place to start than with this quote from HubSpot's own CEO, Yamini Rangan. That phrase right there, agentic customer platform, that's not just marketing speak. It signals a huge shift from a set of tools you use to a platform that actually works for you. Let's dig into what that really means. All right, so what does that actually mean? It means HubSpot is positioning itself as this one single AI-powered ecosystem. It's designed to get everyone, your marketing team, your sales team, your service team, all on the same page, looking at the exact same customer data. So you've got to think of it less like another piece of software and more like the foundational operating system for your entire business. So to really wrap our heads around this, we first have to look at the structure. I mean, how do they actually pull off this promise of a single unified platform? And this slide just lays it out perfectly, right? On one side, you've got the reality for so many businesses. It's just chaos. A bunch of different tools that don't talk to each other, teams working in silos, and a super foggy view of what's actually driving revenue. And then on the other side, you see the dream. One platform, one single source of truth, and just total clarity. So how is the platform actually built? Well, it's all based around these 6 core hubs. Each one is a really powerful set of tools for a specific job, and together they cover the entire customer lifecycle, from that very first marketing touchpoint through the sales process, all the way through to customer service and, yeah, even payments, the whole shebang. And this is the key. This is what holds it all together. None of those hubs are just standalone products. They are all built on and unified by the Smart CRM. This is that single source of truth we keep talking about. It's like the central nervous system that connects every single piece of customer data and every interaction you have. Okay, so we've got the foundation. Let's move to the next layer. Because a unified platform is great, but what makes it smart? Well, that's where Breeze AI comes in. Now, Breeze isn't some feature they just bolted on. It's the AI that's woven through the entire platform. Yeah, think of it like the engine that's powering everything under the hood, from helping you write emails and analyze data to automating whole workflows. It's all about making your team way more productive by taking on all that heavy lifting. But, and this is a big but, here's where HubSpot is making its biggest, most ambitious leap forward. It's not just about AI assisting you anymore. Nope. It's about AI literally becoming a part of your team. And this is the big, kind of mind-bending question HubSpot is putting out there. See, they're trying to move beyond those simple AI assistants that just sit there waiting for you to tell them what to do. They're introducing AI agents that can handle complex jobs all by themselves. They don't just help you do the work, they literally do the work for you. So, what does this always-on growth team actually do? Well, it focuses on 3 core, super high-impact areas where, let's be honest, businesses usually hit the biggest roadblocks: handling customer service, pushing the sales process forward, and creating marketing content. Okay, first up, the customer agent. I mean, just imagine an AI teammate that's handling over half, more than 65% of your customer questions 24/7. This isn't just about faster support. It completely changes the game for your human team. They can stop being reactive firefighters and start being proactive relationship builders. Then you've got the prospecting agent. This thing is designed to just obliterate the most soul-crushing, time-consuming part of sales. The whole point is to shift your team away from just sending tons of emails to focusing on the quality of their connections. It frees up your sales reps to do what humans do best, build real trust and close those complex deals. And rounding out the team is the data agent. This is so cool. It basically turns your CRM from a boring, passive database into an active expert you can just talk to. It really democratizes data science. All of a sudden, anyone on your team can just ask, hey, which customers might be about to leave us, and get an instant data-backed answer. No code, no data analyst needed. All right, so the platform sounds powerful. The AI agents are a total game changer. But does any of it actually work? Does it move the needle? Well, let's look at the numbers. Get this. After just 1 year on the platform, customers are seeing a 129% increase in leads. Let that sink in for a second. That's more than doubling the top of your sales funnel. And it's not just about stuffing more leads in the top either. It's about real results. Customers are also closing 36% more deals. That tells you the platform isn't just filling the pipeline, it's actually helping teams convert that pipeline. And look, this isn't some niche product for a handful of companies. As of the end of 2025, we're talking over 288,000 businesses are using HubSpot to grow. That shows you just how widespread the adoption and trust is. And hey, the company's own growth story totally reflects this customer success. HubSpot's revenue shot up from about $2.6 billion to over $3.1 billion in just a single year. That's a huge sign of some serious market momentum. And if we zoom in on just the last quarter of 2025, the story gets even more impressive. You've got revenue growing 20% year over year, the customer base growing 16%. And this is the big one. The company actually flipped its operating margin from being in the red to a healthy positive 5.7%. This is a picture of a company that isn't just growing fast, it's growing smartly and sustainably. So there you have it. We've unpacked the whole platform, from that unified foundation to the game-changing AI agents and the pretty incredible results. The big question this leaves us with is actually a pretty simple one. With AI that can now act as a real teammate, is your business ready for it? Is your business structured to actually take advantage of it? And that right there is both the challenge and the massive opportunity HubSpot is putting on the table.
All right, so HubSpot just dropped their latest earnings, and wow, the numbers are looking good. But the real story here isn't just about the money. It's about a massive shift they're making, a big bet on an AI-powered future. So that's what we're going to dig into. We're going to unpack that whole story, starting with the big picture. And this quote from their CEO, Yamini Rangan, really just nails it. It sets the whole tone. She talks about two really key things, this idea of an agentic customer platform and a clear acceleration upmarket. Now, we'll get into what all that jargon means in a bit, but first, let's look at the cold, hard numbers that show this transformation is actually happening. And boom, here's the headline number right out of the gate, 20% revenue growth, just in the fourth quarter. I mean, in the economy we're in right now, that's a huge deal. This is really the first piece of solid proof that backs up what the CEO was saying about a transformative year. It totally sets the stage for the full year results we're about to dive into. Okay, so let's dig in. What are the key numbers that really paint the picture of this transformative year for HubSpot? So first up, the big one for the whole year, $3.13 billion in total revenue. Think about that. That's a 19% jump from the year before. That's huge. But as important as that top-line number is, the really dramatic stuff, well, that happened a little further down the income statement. Okay, take a look at this table. The thing that should really jump out at you is that middle row, the GAAP operating income. Just look at that swing. They went from losing almost $68 million in 2024 to actually making a profit of over $7 million in 2025. I mean, that is a massive turnaround, and they did it all while still growing their revenue and their customer base by double digits. Pretty incredible. But wait, it actually gets even more interesting when you dig into that operating income. You see two numbers here, right? There's that $7.4 million GAAP number we just talked about, and then this way bigger number, a non-GAAP figure of almost $582 million. So what's going on there? Why the huge difference? Okay, so here's the simple breakdown. Think of non-GAAP as a way to see the company's core performance. It basically filters out certain expenses that aren't part of the day-to-day business, a big one being stock-based compensation. It's supposed to give you a clearer picture of the company's real operational health. So when you see that massive $582 million number, the main thing to remember is this. HubSpot's core business is an absolute cash-generating machine. And all that cash, all that profitability, it's being fueled by a customer base that's just growing like crazy. They wrapped up the year with almost 289,000 customers. That's a 16% jump. So yeah, really strong numbers all around. But success like this doesn't just happen by accident. It's all thanks to a very, very specific strategy. And that's our cue to talk about the strategy. This is the why behind all those impressive numbers. And it all comes down to this big vision they have for what they call an agentic platform. Yeah, this image right here, it's pulled from their investor deck, and it really says it all. Their whole ambition is to be the #1 agentic platform. So what does that really mean? Well, simply put, they are betting the entire farm on AI. Not just AI as a cool little feature, but AI as the absolute core engine that powers how businesses talk to their customers. So how does this whole thing work? Well, they break it down into 3 main layers, which is actually a pretty smart way to think about it. First, you've got context. This is all about the data, really understanding the customer with their smart CRM. Then comes action.
This is where AI agents, they call them breeze agents, actually do the work. And finally, coordination. This is the layer that makes sure the humans and the AI agents are working together, seamlessly. This is basically their master plan for the future.
And look, this wasn't some overnight decision. If you look at this timeline, you can see this has been a really deliberate evolution for HubSpot. I mean, they started way back with marketing, then launched their big CRM in 2014, and since then, they've just been strategically adding these hubs and buying up smart companies like Clearbit and Frame AI. Every single one of those moves was a calculated step to get them to this AI-powered future.
Okay, so they've got great performance, they've got a super clear strategy. So what's next? What are they expecting for the future? Let's take a look at their official guidance and a couple of other pretty big announcements they made.
So their guidance for what's coming next shows they're feeling really confident. They're forecasting another 18% in revenue growth, which would get them close to $3.7 billion. But, and this is the really interesting part, look at that second line. They expect their non-GAAP operating income to jump by 27%. Whenever you see profits growing that much faster than revenue, that is a fantastic sign. It tells you their whole business model is getting more efficient and more profitable as it gets bigger.
But that financial forecast wasn't the only big piece of news. Nope. The board also gave the green light to something pretty huge, a brand new $1 billion share repurchase program.
So you hear that, $1 billion buyback. What does that actually mean? What is it telling us? Because it's way more than just a boring number on a balance sheet. It's a real statement about what the company thinks of its own future.
Really, what it boils down to is a massive vote of confidence. Management is basically saying, hey, we've got a ton of cash on hand, and you know what the best investment for that cash is? It's us, our own stock. It's them shouting from the rooftops that they believe their strategy is paying off and that their stock is still a great buy.
All right, we've gone through the numbers, we've looked at the strategy, and we've checked out their plans for the future. So let's wrap this up. Let's pull it all together and boil it down to the most important takeaways.
So if you're going to remember just 3 things from all this, make it these. Number 1, financially, this company is in fantastic shape, super strong. Number 2, this isn't luck. It's all being driven by a very deliberate, all-in bet on their AI platform. And number 3, the people in charge are extremely confident this is the right move. I mean, everything from their official guidance to that massive share buyback is screaming, we believe in this plan.
And that really leaves us with one final and pretty huge question. HubSpot is going all in, betting their whole future on the idea that these AI agents are the next big thing in business software. So if they're right, if this is where everything is heading, is HubSpot's agentic platform about to become the new blueprint for everyone else? That, right there, is the billion-dollar question.